Harlem Children's Zone, how one man's vision to revitalize Harlem starts with children. A new Harlem Renaissance. In the 1920s and 1930s, the neighborhood in Harlem in New York City was a center of politics, music, and art. But later, the neighborhood declined and came to represent urban poverty. Today, there's a new renaissance in Harlem, with the construction of new buildings, businesses, and schools. Jeffrey Canada is helping change and improve Harlem. As journalist Ed Bradley explains, Canada's vision, quite simply, is to save children. And he has collected a large amount of private money, more than $100 million, to realize his goal. His goal is to improve a 60-block area in central Harlem that he calls the Harlem Children's Zone. The Harlem Children's Zone introduction. The Harlem Children's Zone is home to almost 10,000 children. Despite renewal in the neighborhood, almost all the children live in poverty, and 2/3 of them receive low scores on state tests. That's why Canada, a graduate of the Harvard School of Education, has chosen this territory as his own and is trying to save it block by block, child by child. He has made a bold promise to the parents who live in the zone. If your child comes to this school, we will guarantee that your child will attend college. We will be with you, with your child, from the moment they enter our school until the moment they graduate from college, Canada promised during a speech. Canada's ambitious experiment to prove that poor kids from the inner city can learn just as well as affluent kids from the other side of America. He provides the zone with social, medical, and educational services that are free to all the children who live here. Affluent children get safety, they get academic enrichment, they get cultural activity. They get adults who take care of them. I'm prepared to do anything to help these kids. Private donations for the Harlem Children's Zone. The budget of the Harlem Children's Zone is $36 million a year, and growing. 1/3 of the money comes from the government, and the rest is from private donations. That money is made it possible for Canada to open his own charter school in a new $42 million building. It's called the Promise Academy. Classes have a ratio of 1 adult for every 6 kids, as well as state-of-the-art science labs, a new gym, and a cafeteria that looks more like a restaurant with only healthy food. I grew up in a very similar condition to a lot of our children, he explains. Single moms, she had 4 kids doing the best she could, living in buildings with cockroaches and rats. It is Canada's passion and commitment that inspired Sandy Druckenmiller, who made his personal fortune, more than $1 billion in finance, to donate tens of millions of dollars to the Harlem Children's Zone. Druckenmiller admits he first had reservations about the project. As the director of the board of the Harlem Children's Zone, Druckenmiller has persuaded others to donate to the Harlem Children's Zone. Ramon, stay with me.
¿Quién es mío?
Ramon.
Vamos a negociar la de usted. ¿Tú no quieres meter?
Sí, yo.
¿Cómo? En 280.
Solo cuatro. No. Ahí lo tienes tú, papá.
That you will stop donating money to the schools? Bradley asked. Druckenmiller says, let me say it a different way. How much we give is related to the results of the schools. To get the results he wants, Canada takes money from his budget and gives it to his students. He gives cash every month to the children with perfect attendance at the Promise Academy. Harlem Children's Zone schools. Canada also pays for reading labs in public elementary schools and provides SAT tutoring to high school students. He teaches karate to help children with discipline and offers medical help for children with asthma. But in order to help the children, Canada says he has to help their parents first. And that begins at the baby college. You guys, excuse me. I have 3 people over here that are not doing any work.
The car.
Roslyn, come on, I'm serious. You've been sitting here for 40 minutes. I want to see some work. Victor, you know how to do this. You have to catch up. I know it's a lot, but you need to do it, okay? And you, my love, I don't want, you're going to have work that you need to do more today, more tomorrow. So you need to get it together and sit down. That begins at the baby college, a 9-week class that teaches new parents how to raise their kids so they will enter school ready to learn. Parents also learn how to discipline children without physical force. Before attending baby college, Darlene Anozier said she didn't know how to discipline her son without hitting him. The Harlem Children's Zone has helped Darlene buy groceries when she does not have enough money and also referred her to an adult education class to get her GED. I want my son Richard to know education is the most important thing, she explains. Richard started school at a pre-kindergarten class in the Harlem Children's Zone, which opened a $250 college fund for him and donates to the college funds of all students in pre-kindergarten. At the Promise Academy, the school day is longer. Summer vacation is only 3 weeks, and many kids go to school on Saturdays. Canada is able to run the school his way because it is a charter school and does not have a teachers' union. He says without a union, he can fire teachers and make better decisions. It costs $16,000 a year to educate a student at the Promise Academy. While $10,000 of these dollars come from the city, the rest is from the school's private donations. Our kindergartners are on all grade levels. They're doing terrific, so we're feeling really, really good about that, says Canada. Canada also runs an after-school program for older children in the zone. In a city where half the teenagers don't finish high school on time, the graduation rate for students in the after-school program is almost 95%. Teens at the center can receive $150 a month if they complete their schoolwork. Pushing the envelope. As for Canada, he has been meeting with groups from the country that are interested in creating children's zones in their cities. Do people ever ask you if this zone is a crazy idea? Bradley asked Canada. As long as I am here, we're going to push the envelope as far as possible, Canada says, and I think that in the end, it's going to be important that we demonstrate that we can get even the toughest kids to succeed in America. So the prompt. Read and annotate the article, Harlem Children's Zone, One Man's Vision to Revitalize Harlem Starts with Children. Do you think the Harlem Children's Zone is the best way to revitalize Harlem? Write a CEA response that has a clear position, at least 3 quotes, and a conclusion that gives a solution to the problem of schools in Harlem. This response must be a minimum of a page long.